Oh boy. What did we do? Well,
What didn't we do?
that is the correct question. What didn't we do? You guys got yourselves on a cruise. You went on a cruise. You got tickets for free from a mysterious guy called uh, Magnus
Magnus Ton.
Ton. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Um, which was interesting. You immediately decided it was a trap, which meant you, of course, had to go and check it out. Naturally. So I very quickly had to put together a cruise ship for you guys. The cruise ship was very, very expensive looking, and you had a chance to have many mini adventures. You went down into the bowels of the cruise ship and hunted for some clinks. You eventually managed to punch some coughing into submission. You even found a Pokemon that appeared to have been abandoned by somebody. You don't know who. And might never find out.
And we'll never know.
Yeah.
Tell you what, kid's gonna throw some hands if we ever do.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Right?
But that was all before dinner, and you got a lot done. You went to dinner. Not all of you, Milo. You decided to abstain because you had other things to worry about. But Kid and V actually went to dinner, ate some Kingler legs, ate like kings, and also spoke like kings. You managed to piss off one of the public representatives of Self Corporation, Mr. Magnus Co. Mr. Magnus Dunn himself. Magnus Co. Wow. Let's hope not.
Mr. Silco Man.
Mr. Silco Man. However, before he could really do anything, the power went out all over the entire ship. Might have had something to do with those clinks, might not have. You're still not entirely sure. Immediately after that, Milo, you noticed some commotion outside of your cabin. You ran outside, you chased down some Pokemon that kind of looked like toddlers and caught them throwing stuff overboard. You sent Piper after them. She went after them. They turned out to be some Cricketots that appeared to have been burgling, were in the act of burgle.
She had herself a little snack.
She did have herself a little snack, and you got yourself into a battle with a much larger Cricketoon, as well as a Golbat, who in the end came out unscathed, weirdly enough. His only job in that fight was to play tug of war with Kid, and Kid won. Kid definitely won that tug of war. You managed to grab that Golbat's trainer. Turned out to be some sort of Type 19 representative. And you managed to apprehend him. One of them, however, did get away. She managed to jump out of the ship's window, and her Cricketoon was immediately put to sleep, which caused both of them to plummet immediately into the ocean. Where they may have perished, you don't know, but Milo decided not to find out.
It wasn't about whether or not she was going to die. Milo didn't want her getting away.
Oh, I
and
see.
Milo didn't want her getting away, and Caden, the player, didn't want us to not get the experience for that Cricketoon. And I'm kind of sad that we didn't end up beating the Cricketoon. Because
loss of life does not matter to Milo anymore.
I thought you did say you didn't want her to die.
It was very much that was her choice, but he didn't want her getting away.
Oh, okay. Last time I think you said you didn't want her to die, but...
I didn't want her to die, but he also more didn't want her getting away. That was the driving motivation. But there was also some don't die being stupid, so I'm going to be stupid and possibly die.
Yes, you and your...
She kicked the literal child back into the sea. That was...
Right, that was rude.
That was concerning.
Yeah, that was when he was like, okay, well, fine, I guess.
Yeah.
I hope you get eaten by whatever just grabbed you.
Right?
Yeah, you ended up having a little bit of a fight with her in the ocean. However, before you ended up actually being able to grab her, something came out of the darkness, snatched her up because I rolled a natural 20. and thereby left Milo and Chester stranded in the middle of the ocean. Now, you were eventually picked up by Acacia, who happened to be coming by, had a little bit of a spite with them on top of Tropius, because you wanted to go back to the ship, and Acacia was like, don't be fucking stupid, you just got out of there.
Yeah, I do feel bad about that. I do feel bad. But it had to be done.
You managed to get back into the ship right in time for the police to arrive. You had a little chat with the police. You gave them your side of the story. Magnus apparently gave them his side of the story. And also, Gary showed up. Which was not part of the plan, except for it was because we texted him and were called, rather, and was like, hey, shit's gonna go down, so you can only...
We're about to make more mistakes.
Yeah. So Gary did actually show up to try to fix things, and he got you out of there. He grabbed you and brought you wholesale over to the boat, which you are currently on, which we can actually do that now, I think. Oh no,
Oh.
yes.
I just noticed that it was even on the map showing where we were.
It's been moving with us. It's pretty great.
Yes. Which, now you are all on the boat, and Gary actually took your other 3 friends, your rival trio, rival/friend/ question mark trio, and brought them over to the cruise instead.
They're all Milo's friends, so they're at least the party's friends.
Yes.
Even Blur.
Someone might as well enjoy the cruise if we don't get to.
Yeah, that's very fair. But before Gary actually left with his weird, like, soccer mom mission, hey, bring us over here, but also drop off our friends over there. We actually managed to convince him to come back after he was done with that, because he wants to have a little chat. But you do have, as I kind of gently deposit you here in the middle of the night. Granted, it's not as late as it could have been. You guys have been staying up pretty late due to Marcy's gym being open late. So for you, realistically, it's like a 9 p.m. So even with everything that's happened, you're like, yeah, it's fine. We're still good to go. Adrenaline's, still rushing. But before Gary comes back, you do have at least, like, a solid, maybe, 10, 20 minutes. It's not that far away of a flight, but still. What are you all doing?
I think Milo would want to check on Rocky, but he'd probably make his way into the small cabin. That way we're not out in the open sea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Do you go ahead and let him out of the Pokeball, or?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, he'll make his way down into the small cabin, just sort of giving a nod to V, who seems to be catatonic on the front deck.
Yeah.
He's just, I don't know, he laid down, and he's kind of like laying down like you do on a bed when you're thinking about stuff, where you're just like laying like flat and you've got your hands like
behind your head.
No, like on your chest, like fingers laced, like
More defensive. Got it. Okay.
It's like, now you've dug your grave. Now lay in it.
Right. Exactly.
I don't think we've had a chance to do our loyalty stuff for the day, because we kind of woke up and went to the the cruise ship in a flash. So if possible, that's what I'd like to do with Rocky, to help bring him, a little bit more of a gentle boy. But he'll spend an hour just in the cabin, at least with Rocky. And he'll let him out and kind of see how he's taking to all of the changes.
Sounds good. When you first release and like open up the Pokeball, it's weird because it doesn't almost unlock right away. You click the button and it kind of pauses and pulses with that weird red light a couple of times. And then after like a half a second, it finally opens and Rocky does actually pop out. He looks around, still looks very like gun-shy, immediately bolts for whatever the closest, I guess, bed is. I imagine you guys do have beds. It's pretty cramped, but still.
Yeah, I've been in small boats before, and they'll have maybe like 3 kind of in a triangle.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was picturing. I figure he's sitting on his, so maybe under Veer kids.
So kind of skitters. You can hear snails, clicking on the floor as he kind of skids under there. But this time around, after hiding for maybe about a minute, he seems to actually poke his nose out a little bit and begin to sniff around. Looks back up at you.
Hey, buddy. Thanks. It was kind of scary there, and you were out on your own, and I just don't want anything to take you, back to... He'll just kind of like look down and then look back at Rocky, and he'll kind of get down on the floor. Okay, so you're gonna need a name, all right? And I think I've come up with one, but I'm curious what you think. How does Rocky sound? And he'll more or less just talk with Rocky and be very gentle. He's not even gonna like reach out to him. The closest he'll get is just to sit on the floor with like his back against his own bed, a few feet away from him, and see how he does. But he's entirely leaving everything in Rocky's court. He'll just be there,
Sure.
gently talking, and see how it goes from there.
Awesome. Can you roll me an animal handling check?
Okay. Will it be another 9?
Let's hope not.
It shouldn't have been a disadvantage, right?
That's a natural 20.
Hell yeah.
Hey, much better.
Ooh. Did they change their font? What the fuck? Okay. But yeah, that's a natural 20. In fact, by the end of this, I'm going to change it just for myself because I'm keeping track of it on your Pokemon's character sheet. I'm going to update it a little bit. You made it almost, I think, like more than halfway through the thing. Okay. For getting him out of upset.
Heck yeah.
By the end of...
Progress.
Yeah, it's huge progress, in fact.
I mean, upset, so it's not too bad, but it's guys, you have to roll a d20 every time you give them a command, and on a 10 or lower, they don't do it.
They just sing nah.
Yeah.
They just say nah.
Yeah.
It's like, I might need to work on that first thing.
Get that boy trained up. Get him back on Team Milo.
Team Milo. He'll break up little pieces of Pokemon food because he's not entirely sure how much he's eaten in the last week. And he'll be in there throughout everything that V is about to have to deal with.
Okay, sounds good. By the end of your little, one-on-one session with Rocky, I would say you actually managed to coerce him out from under the bed. It's slow going, but it's very positive. Like, he doesn't growl at you. He doesn't even try to bite you necessarily. He's still very much skittish whenever you make a motion that is a little bit too fast, or sometimes when the ship just rocks a little bit and something clanks somewhere in one of the other rooms. He also jumps a little bit, but I would say with a natural 20, by the end of it, you've managed to coerce him into, like, being essentially laying down pressed up against you. And he's still shaking, but he's, like, actually making physical contact with you willingly.
Milo's just he's on his phone, just flipping through, like, I guess, Moel's ruffler. Probably just keeping himself busy, but he's got one hand just scruffing the top of his head.
Okay. Sounds good. What about Kid? What would you like to do?
Kid's probably gonna do like something similar, because he's kind of had an adventure, and Froaky's always there, so she gets plenty of attention. And Zubat was like the partner for the cruise escapade. He's gonna use his daily like bonding with Dwebble, and just kind of do some training with him, like push-ups, sit-ups, that sort of thing, and like just imagine a kid doing push-ups with Dwebble on his back, doing push-ups on Kid's back to add resistance.
Incredible. I wonder how many of your Pokemon you can stack on top of yourself. All of them doing push-ups.
Only way to find it.
Incredible. All right. Would you like to roll animal handling, or would you like to roll something else? Because it's absolutely up to you, like, what you want to spin this as.
Either or. I don't mind animal handling.
All right.
Bonding with Dwebble.
Sure. Roll me an animal handling.
Not one, baby.
The dice gods.
It's pretty. I mean, it doesn't go badly in any sense, but at one point, unfortunately, the boat kind of rocks to the side on the waves, and I imagine Dwebble kind of like tumbles off of you and almost goes overboard. And you do grab him. There's absolutely nothing wrong, but you can see that he's just kind of like shaken up and going, "Where have you brought me, father?"
This is the deep water.
That's right.
All right. Well, that's still a 7, though. That's still progress, regardless. All right. Sounds good. So while that adventure is happening over on that side of the boat, what's V thinking about?
I don't know that he's thinking more than it's just running through his head. It's like, fuck.
Okay.
He's just very nervously, like, laying, and every so often he'll tilt his head back, like, looking up into the sky over the ocean, waiting to see a giant shadow.
Okay. You have to wait a while. 5 minutes go by, 10 minutes. At about the 15-17 minute mark, you finally, when glancing up at the sky again, see something moving. And the only thing you can really see in the darkness is just an absence of stars, essentially. And a large shape as it sweeps out over the water. You have about maybe a minute until it arrives there. But it seems like, just like you requested, Gary is indeed coming back.
Well, it's good. Good and awful. And good. And oh my god. Okay. He won't get up. He'll still lay there.
Okay.
And just wait.
Gary doesn't land on the boat this time. You hear a splash of water as Hydreigon essentially just hydroplanes directly like towards the boat, using the water to slow down. And then at one point you do hear like a chomp as one of the heads grabs the edge of the boat to steady itself, and Gary just kind of because there's nobody here, it seems like he's not really taking any pointers to look cool this time. He just kind of unceremoniously clambers up its head and then grabs the railing and swings himself up and over. For a guy who's like in his 40s, he's actually still pretty spry, but he looks very tired. He's definitely got bags under his eyes as he kind of gets over, looks around. Kids on the other side of the boat. Probably D has retreated to give you guys space, so it's just you and him out here.
Welcome to my office. Why don't you have a seat?
He kind of looks around, lifts an eyebrow, goes, all right, and just kind of awkwardly, he like sits, but he like sits on the edge of the boat with his elbows on the railing, kind of. He's as awkward about this as you are. You're both radiating like, I don't know how to do this energy, I imagine.
Probably. Veal sit up and just kind of sigh and look over him. Just, it's easier, I guess, when you're not actually here, but
that's a great start to
it
this
was kind of shut up. I know it was kind of a dig before that, like, you haven't been around and haven't seen you in a really long time, but I mean, it is, I guess, kind of nice to see you actually for once.
I'm almost wanting to roll like wisdom checks for Gary, not to answer stupidly, but
Roll a parental saving throw.
yeah. He kind of pauses. Looks like he's about to say like, "Wow, okay," but then he stops himself physically. Just kind of goes, "All right, it's nice to see you too. I suppose traveling did curb your attitude a little bit. That's surprising, but I'll take it."
Look, I'm trying to be nice right now, okay? This is like truce. Like, it's Dee's boat. It's like neutral waters, right?
Neutral waters, yes.
Trying not to be a dick.
I appreciate that.
Try not to be a dick, too.
He kind of pauses, looks out onto the water, and goes, "So, how did your gym battle go?"
Well, I guess I can bring up, like, concerns with you since you're part of the whole, like, gym battling league board, right? Why do you put, like, the asshole typing first?
He kind of frowns a little bit and goes, "What do you mean?"
I mean, what do you mean? What do I mean? Ghosts are hard.
Then why did you
Like,
come
you
here
come in-
first?
What? We were told to come here first.
By whom?
Keisha?
He kind
Our
of
Pokemon professor?
he kind of pauses, thinks about something, and goes, "That's right."
From off in the distance, without trying to pry too much, you just hear like panting, and in between, that might have to do with them trying to get us away from the cops. And then another grunt as kid continues to work out.
Gary glances over his shoulder, raises an eyebrow further, and looks back at V. And you can see in his mind like gears are turning, but he actually seems genuinely confused. He's like, "Honestly, I thought that was a decision that you made to make some sort of a point. I thought that was just you not thinking things through again and rushing into the first most challenging thing to make a statement of some sort."
We were told to go to Cinnabar first. Like, outside of Pallet. And it's close-ish. I guess the other way would have been closer, but I don't think that we're supposed to do your gym first either.
Honestly, there is no set standard way to go through the gyms, seeing as everybody starts in a different town. Most people just start wherever they are, and you are in fact flanked by the two gyms that are indeed meant to be last.
The last ones
don't go to my gym first typically, and trainers aren't really meant to go to Marceline's gym first. She is a capable gym leader, but she is not what I would call a good beginner standard. So, I
not
suppose,
really, especially when ghosts are kind of immune to, the shit you start with.
Well, I think this, seeing as we are trying to be nice to each other, I will not say that as trainers you had plenty of chances to research the gyms and take your time and go to the ones that were easiest first. I will not say that because we are trying to be nice. V?
We started, man. Like, I figured we could trust our Pokemon professor to have our, if not best interests, then at least, like, wants us to succeed interests.
I'm honestly not sure what Acacia's plan was, sending you here. Then I have always had
I'll yell at her later. I'll yell at them later.
We've had our disagreements in the past. And sure, by all means, I would be more than happy if you were to direct your anger at them instead of me, because I have no control over what order you do the gyms in.
Do you think that they were a dick to us because of you then? Like, is it your fault?
He kind of pauses and he begins to rub his temple. Like, I don't know how to answer that in a political way.
It's whatever. I don't know exactly what I wanted to say besides that I know that you don't. I don't know. Okay, I don't know why exactly, but I know that you don't really like agree with us going out and being Pokemon trainers and going on this adventure, even though that's extremely hypocritical.
I don't. Have I ever told you that I disagree with you going out on an adventure?
Well, you kind of, every time I've mentioned it and talked about it, you said that we were stupid and being dumb and dangerous and gonna get ourselves killed.
Yes, because every time you've mentioned it, it has been in passing, and all you've told me is that you're going to be the best, and you're going to be stronger than me, and you're going to show me, and you've approached it with absolutely no thought at all, no logical conclusions, as if I'm not the one that has made all the mistakes that you are currently making, as if I don't... Alright, that's not... Okay, I'm just going to stop there. Listen to me. I'm not against you going on the adventure, but all my life I've been trying to instill in you the understanding that this is not a game and this is not something as simple as going out and doing it, that there will be challenges and dangers, and that you are going to be responsible for living creatures other than yourself, which is a lot of responsibility for somebody who has to be doted upon by their best friend, who is much more responsible.
Hey.
If I actually wanted to stop you from becoming a Pokemon trader, do you think I would not have?
I'd like to see you try. But that's the thing is, this is our adventure, this is fun. I don't want to sit and think about shit and do it safe. Like, I just want to do it. And we're going to go out and we're going to find cool Pokemon and make names of ourselves. And if I make mistakes and shit like that you've already made, I'm not you. I'm making them again.
The mistakes are fine, but there are levels of mistakes. I don't want you to die for your adventure.
I'm not gonna die.
Sure, that's what I thought too, but I've come awfully close. And what I'm trying to do is prevent that from you.
But you didn't die.
He kind of slumps against the railing on the boat and kind of like starts to slowly and gently hit his head, like the back of his head against the railing. Like he wants to just bang his head into the desk or a wall, but there are none available here.
I want to make mistakes. I want to do dumb shit. We're all gonna try our very best not to, make the last mistake that we ever make. But if you want to help, I'll take advice, I guess, if it's not, in a I told you so, don't do this shit kind of way. Like, I'm not against learning or hearing stories about shit you did and what you learned. It might be kind of cool, actually. but I also don't want you to be like, hey, this is what I did and it was a mistake, so never do it. Because that just makes me want to do it more.
He kind of rubs his neck. Roll me an insight check, actually, V. This might be a good time to roll an insight check.
Oh,
17.
17.
Pretty good for a 0.
Yeah.
right?
Weirdly enough, you get the sense that as he's kind of thinking about things and not looking directly at you, you get the sense that he's embarrassed. And for the first time in perhaps your life, you're maybe understanding that when he has been extremely quiet, it's about his, quote unquote accomplishments. You're finally beginning to glean that perhaps it wasn't that he was trying to show off. He was legitimately, like, ashamed of how fucking stupid he may have been in his past, combined with what he's told you now. And it seems that he's kind of doing the same thing here, where he's like, maybe not. But as he kind of looks down and rubs his face and looks back up at you, and he goes, I do those things and try to impress upon you how stupid I was because, well, I've already said it. I was full of myself at your age and a bit of an idiot, although I would never admit it. And I see a lot of that in you. That's not what I meant. That maybe was not the best way to phrase that. Shit.
I mean, if I'm gonna be dumb, now is the best time. Like, you don't have time anymore to do fun things and come home for holidays or to hang out and see Guardy. You're just busy all the time.
His shoulders kind of droop. He goes, yeah, she's plenty mad at me about it too.
I hope so. I moved the
Video phone.
Video phone. Thank you. I moved the video phone into the living room for her, and I don't think I broke it. So
no, you didn't. She's called me to very pointedly complain to me on it several times.
Good.
I love the idea of Gardevoir just like miming at him complaints.
Kind of hangs his head again and goes, listen, I understand that you need to make these mistakes. There wasn't many people around when I was your age to tell me not to do something stupid and to curb my incredible selfishness and, dumbassery. Damn it, I probably shouldn't swear, huh? Fuck it.
I don't think that's a real word anyway, so I think it's fine.
The point being, V, I'm trying to help you in my own way, even though you don't like it. And if I can't stop you from doing dumb stuff, you just trying not to die is enough. And just... his eyes harden for a moment, and he looks directly at you for once, and he goes, I know that you're trying to do the right thing with Sylph. And I'm not saying that you're wrong for going up against them. They are. But the point is that they have been assholes for a lot longer than you've been alive. And there are things that have to do with them that I don't think you need to be the ones that deal with that. I know that this is not helping. Just listen for just a second. He kind of reaches out and actually like grabs your shoulder and goes, I know you want to help. And maybe you can. But you need to actually listen to the people that have been dealing with this far longer than you have. You need to listen to their advice. They know how dangerous it is and what works and what doesn't. I'm one of those people, all right? And much as I dislike them, so is Acacia, and technically so is Dee, although she's not technically mixed up in it. There's stuff that they've done that... And his eyes kind of darken and he looks down and sighs and goes, They're not here to play, is what I'm saying. And maybe in the future I will be asking you to help. If you have indeed, all three of you, gone up against Marcy as your first badge and have already won, he kind of thinks about it and goes, it's only been a week. Marcy has saved me. You've shown that you're capable of a lot. Just, you know, you don't have to do it all immediately.
Fine. Then help me, help us. Has anyone even tried? It seems like everybody's either under their payroll or in their pocket or threatened to silence. Like,
The League isn't.
has anyone...
Most of the League, and he kind of glances out across the ocean. And you do get the sense that he's not telling you something, but he kind of shakes his head again and goes, look, we are not doing nothing. It's just that anything that we do openly against them muddies the waters and unfortunately makes it a lot easier for them to track us. I will tell you when we have more time. But what I can tell you is that if you just lay low for a while, I can at least take care of this. And as soon as he says this, there is a dull in the distance. And you both look out over the water and you see the bright light of some sort of secondary explosion far off on the cruise.
Oh man, our friends.
Oh, shit. And he immediately leaps to his feet.
Is that... Wait, I'm coming with you.
Nope.
Milo!
No, you're not coming anywhere. This is more
What
bullshit. I'm afraid this is distracting. He grabs your shoulders again. Just this once. Just listen to me. Prove to me that you can work with others. I'll take care of this.
Fix it. And tell me if everything's okay.
Kind of pauses. Nods. Alright. Just stay. For my sake. For Milo's mother's sake. Just... I'll text you later. And he vaults himself over the railing, and immediately, like a second later, you hear the wet splash of weird wings as Hydragion lifts up and begins to skim back across the water and leaves you there.
What the fuck?
Milo comes out with... There's no Rocky. He'd probably leave Rocky in the cabin, but he'll come out. What's up? I heard my name. What's going on?
V's just kind of like... He's got both hands on the side of the railing and is like looking towards where the explosion was.
Roll me a perception check.
We just put our friends on the boat.
Right?
19 is real good. You look out across the water. You don't see any flames or anything. You can actually see the cruise pretty well from here. The lights are still on. There's a little bit of smoke that you see that might be coming from the back, but you don't think that it's like a life-endangering explosion.
He'll send a DM to Moel then. Be like, what the fuck is going on?
Okay.
What's going on, V? What's up?
I don't know, because I don't know, we saw something happen out back towards the cruise ship and it looked like fire or something, but it was just for a second and he ran off and told me to stay.
You think they're jailbreaking that boy?
Can one of you, whoever, let's see, can one of you roll me a d20?
I've already rolled a 1, so I will pass actual.
Alright, that's fair. That's fair. I already burned my 20. But...
Right, and I've been rolling really well.
14
So.
in the table already. So.
There you go.
Okay. Moel doesn't text you back right away, because maybe she's not looking at you. Yeah, well, she's maybe not looking at her phone. But after about 2 or 3 minutes, after about 2 or 3 minutes, you get a text reply back that basically says, "We're okay. Something happened at the brig. And then, like, she continues to text you updates throughout the next, like, 10, 15, 20 minutes. She texts you after a while. It says they still have the guy. They found Pokemon. Or she texts you, like, they found the Pokemon.
Okay,
And she goes,
better than I thought.
It's like very, very quick, as if she's also running around trying to do her own spy work and, like, doesn't have a lot of time to text. But eventually she's like, they found the Pokemon, they were out of their Pokeballs and downstairs. Nothing's, the ship seems to be fine, etc., etc. And she goes, eventually, like, they think Type 19 did it. But that's where her updates kind of trailed off, essentially.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But what the fuck exploded?
It was probably a Pokemon.
You get the sense that because like she mentioned specifically, they found the Pokemon out of their Pokeballs, it looks like there was some sort of chaos happening. But...
Do we...
Sounds like it's under control, though.
You're right. I think we've done a fair amount. Let's...
Hey, at least we put more Pokemon trainers back in, like, to replace us.
Yeah, and
So
Moel
they
and
probably
Blur
help.
are both fully capable, so they can definitely help. And
That was probably also capable.
his Squirtle is... That Squirtle is pretty...
Right?
Beef.
I will say.
Stunts.
Alright, well...
He left, though, and I don't think he's coming back this time. I had a whole plan and everything.
What was your plan?
Yeah,
Bring
lay
it
it
off
on
for
us.
us.
I was gonna put him to sleep with Lily. It was pretty funny.
Oh.
He was gonna get some sleep.
That actually probably would have been nice, but he would have been angry about that.
Yeah, probably, but if he thinks he can do what is for my own good, that means I can do it too, right?
I think that's what family's about, right? Right?
Sure.
Alright, well, man. It's nice.
Also, hold on. Did you know, Milo, that most people don't actually go to the freaking ghost gym first?
Wait, what?
Dad,
No, that was
Dad said that, right? Acacia said that was our first place to go. Dad said it's not really usually the first place people go, because it's hard.
That does track. That explains a few things.
I don't know. I thought it was
Angry
pretty
words
easy.
with them.
Personally.
Kid.
Fuck you, kid.
Just because Froaky's all strong and you had moves
Right?
that could actually, hit those guys. we had to find workarounds, man.
D from
That
like
was something.
somewhere up above yells, "Play nice, kids! Don't name call each other."
No, but
Sorry,
I
Miss
kind
D.
of overheard that part. I'm pretty sure I remember them mentioning getting us off of the mainland and away from Sylph directly. So I don't know if they necessarily wanted us to start there so much as not get us wrapped up in more Sylph stuff. But
Yeah.
clearly they don't know us good enough.
Right? I mean, they could have phrased it in a way like, or at least told us, hey, like, the gym badge is, like, hard. And maybe this isn't the best place to start, but I'm putting you over here for your own good, even though that would just make me mad. If they said that.
Yeah, I think
But
that would be the
also, I would at
problem.
least know.
Either way, we were gonna kind of bucket that because
Yeah, we were always going to get back at Sylph. It's kind of established.
Right? So, like, why not just send us to the ones you're supposed to go to?
I mean, I'm assuming because they're deep in the mainland where Sylph has a lot more influence, but
Or, their cruise ship. But I guess they weren't exactly counting on that.
Yeah, but just think, if we didn't come out here and have this little adventure and struggles and, ups and downs, we wouldn't have met all our new boys, and it kind of holds the level up. Like, look at this little guy.
right.
What will we do without him?
I feel it. I really do. How to phrase it?
I mean, it worked out in the end, like, yeah, but guess it would have been nice to know that we didn't just suck, and it was like, harder than it was supposed to be,
It makes
and it
me
would have
feel
made it
a little bit better. Yeah.
better. Yeah, well, it would have made me feel like super good, be like, hell yeah, we did it anyways, even though it was hard, and not like it was really hard, and I feel like I'm weak and shitty now because we just barely eked out getting through it.
I mean, my opinion of it was like, if that was the intention of the Pokemon League for that to be the first gym, as I thought it was, then the whole league itself was kind of setting up all new trainers for failure, right?
Right, and that also sucks.
But if what you're saying is I'm bot.
Oh, time bot.
Red 1002p. Oh no. Yeah, it
It just felt, I don't know, it felt kind of shitty. Like, I was like, well, maybe I'm not a good trainer because kid had no problem with it. And if this is supposed to be like where we start, maybe I just suck.
I mean, I was afraid of the same for myself. It hmm.
But I guess now that we do know, and now we are super awesome.
Yeah, it should make the rest of the gyms feel a little bit easier, at least, right?
I mean,
Maybe.
at least it wasn't like, this was intended to be less, but at least you didn't run in and have to face like level 50 fucking Bayonet or Trevenant or
Yeah.
That's true.
That would be.
Palisand, like.
He was pretty big.
And she did.
She
have
had like a
them.
Delmate
She showed them
too.
off. Yeah. So it could have been a lot harder than it was. So at least it was intended to be possible, just the hardest
Yeah.
possible from the beginning.
Right.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it necessarily would have been the hardest part, because he said that people typically start around where they are. So, like, the people from Cinnabar start with access to ghost type things, right? So, I mean,
That's true.
Yeah.
it's probably just harder for us because we kind of came from, especially you guys being from Kanto, the middle of the fucking city,
Right. Middle of Kanto with normal ass Pokemon.
We did it. And we got our badges. And now we're on to the next one. Do we know what the next one is?
Dad was saying all kinds of stuff about like doing research and finding out ahead of time what you're up against and blah blah blah.
Milo will take out his phone. Does the Pokemon League have a website?
www.mon.
I mean, yeah, basically, the Pokemon League does have a website. Yes, it doesn't reveal the Pokemon, like all of the leaders' Pokemon and their levels and moves or anything, but you can definitely peruse the leaders. Yeah.
Does it have their typings available?
Typing at least.
It does have their typing available.
All right. So looks like
What's
the
this
next
one?
gym is going to be and the next one is in Jade City, right?
Right now you are heading for Jade City, indeed.
So we'll get to Jade City via the Seafoam Islands. I know T had something that she wanted to show us there.
And you scroll over, and all of the Pokemon leaders have like little what do you call it? Not blurbs, but like
biopic,
little bio pages. Yes, exactly. In fact, I could actually just post this one here since you're doing research, for sure.
Start looking shit up this time.
Finally, thinking things ahead.
Yeah, the only thing.
Where's the fun in that?
Where is the fun in that? The next gym leader is actually. You know what? I'm gonna censor something really quick. I'm just gonna censor the badge so that there's at least a little bit of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit of
mystery.
Mystery, yes.
Dario.
The next gym leader is called Polyn. Polyn.
Interesting.
And
Is it gonna be grass type? Is it like pollen? Are we getting played here?
Let's see.
In Jade City? Maybe.
Hold on. I'm almost done. Very poor.
I cannot wait to see the badge because it looks just the silhouette of it looks great.
All right, I
Keep
dropped.
forgetting we've got the badge case.
Yeah, you do.
You
Yeah, you
know?
you can
Oh
see
yeah,
all of
right.
Nah, I don't think he's grass type.
Nah.
it. So you see like his little blurb and profile and stuff like that. You can see how long he's been a gym leader. And yeah, he specializes in grass types. You can tell. His badge is called the Root Badge. It is not previewed, but you presume what it looks like based on the little indent in your holding case.
Okay. I mean, grass isn't,
Yeah, that's
great for
should
me,
be fun.
but it's not
Yeah.
terrible either.
It
I
could be
feel pretty
worse.
good about it.
You know, it could be like. Honestly, I don't know what the worst one for any of us would be. I feel like Ghost is probably the roughest
Ghost
at the
was
start.
really up there.
Just because of where we came from, a lot of normal Pokemon
Yeah.
were at our disposal. So,
Normal moves
Yeah.
and things like that. Yeah.
I mean,
but
ground might
otherwise,
be shitty, but
I mean, it's not going to be.
at least
This
for me.
one's not going to be great for Froakie. She might have to sit it out for a little bit, I think. I mean, she'll be
Yeah.
okay because she does have Protean, so she won't be water type at all for the fight if I have to use her, I guess.
That's good. That's good. My biggest concern would be Rocky right now.
You might want to give him a little bit of time before you try.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but I don't want to. I don't want to.
I mean, we're not in any rush either. Like
That's
we
true.
can take our time when we get there. You know,
Mhm.
maybe if anything, this is weird coming from me. I realize because he's saying that after just going through a training montage using Dwebble as like free weights. But maybe we should like do a little regular Pokemon adventuring and go look around and explore a little bit. Maybe train up before we jump in this time.
I like
Yeah.
that idea.
I mean,
Yeah.
Dee said that she had something planned for us. I'm sure, like, if she brings us to somewhere and we can run around and train and do some stuff.
I do.
Oh, you're right. You're still.
It's a very small
Yeah,
boat.
Yeah, I'm
being
still
the
here.
kid.
There's not a lot of places for me to go. I'm not even eavesdropping. I'm just up here. Milo, actually, while you're on the website, just for funsies, can you roll me an investigation check? I might have like other fun things for you to.
Little tidbits. That you can.
Yeah. Okay, a middling 12. Okay, you see Gary in there and you're like, yep, that's Gary. I know that guy. You notice that one of the other gym leaders, the Pewter City gym leader, looks eerily familiar, but you can't quite put your finger on it. His face just looks like you've seen it before, but you're not like sure where. It's kind of bothering you.
I'll like enlarge it and be like, anybody know him? I feel like I've met him before.
The rest of you also roll me insight checks, actually.
Pull the party into this check.
Hell yeah.
God, you were rolling just
Right? I'm gonna die later, but I'm doing
A
well
one?
right now.
A 1 and now a 2.
Oh no!
We're working up. We're falling forward.
Oh no!
What about what was the gym leader that didn't come on the Crystal? Chris? Is that one on the site? I'm not asking about Pewter. I'm asking.
Hold on, but V'll reach forward and like take your phone for a second and like zoom in on the picture like super far. I mean,
do you recognize him?
Kinda. Well, he not really, but I mean, he kind of looks like Toa. I mean, if you squint a little.
Let me see.
Yeah, like
Toa's
the
dad,
eyes.
is Toa's dad a gym leader?
Yeah,
We don't really know anything about Toa. Realizing it, huh?
Not really. He didn't talk to us very much or at all in general.
You know, he has some fly fucking shoes and a beefy Squirtle.
Right?
What else
Do you think
does
he
one
picked
need?
Squirtle? Like, is Pewter still rock, or is it a different typing?
It looks like it is still a rock type gym, yes.
Okay. I mean, do you think he picked Squirtle, like, just so he could beat up his dad?
Is it like an adult, or is it like an older brother? What's the age look like on the
It's
gym
a
leader?
little bit difficult to tell because it's like that middle age of like 30-ish, somewhere in the 30s. So like it's possible that it could be like his dad or an uncle or something. It's also entirely
Depends on
possible
how-
that it's a sibling. Yeah, it just depends on how far apart they are.
Mhm.
How fast they age, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it definitely looks
Mate?
like Toa.
Maybe he wanted to like beat him,
Maybe.
but he didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't seem too keen on battling.
Yeah, like he's not really interested in doing. He didn't even do the ghost gym.
Do you don't think they kind of forced him into it? Do you?
I mean, if they did, I can't see like once he was out, like they wouldn't have much control over it if he just like decided to stop if he wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just spitballing because there's some
Yeah.
helicopter parents that try to, keep you really close, monitor everything you do. There's some parents who, want you to succeed, but even if you don't think you want to do it, maybe they pushed him into it because he really didn't seem too keen on battling, and I can't imagine why
Yeah.
you would.
Be a Pokemon trainer.
I mean, training Pokemon is a lot more than just battling, and he did try Marcy's gym, I think. He might have just known that it was. I thought he did. He made
I
an
thought he
attempt at it.
refused.
He did. He
I can't
did.
remember.
The little like trainers leading up, but he pulled out right before the actual fight
Yeah, I
with
don't
her.
think he actually did Marcy. Yeah.
Maybe he just knew
Huh?
that she was supposed to be done later, or maybe you guys are right. Maybe he's just here to appease
doesn't want
parents.
to.
But yeah,
I mean, he could be like he seemed really into the egg.
right.
Breeding might be his jam,
Yeah. Yeah, he might just want to be friends with Pokemon. Do I text Moel and like have her badger him about it? Because
I mean,
she would.
Do
I give her that
we bully
information?
Toa?
Yeah, I mean, it seems kind of mean, doesn't it? Like,
A little. But maybe it's something he secretly like wants to talk about and just doesn't like want to be the one to bring it up.
okay.
how about this? How about
I gotta play
screen
devil's
capture?
advocate here. What part of Toa's personality has suggested to you at any point that he wants to talk about something, but he doesn't want to bring it up?
Yeah, like maybe not the talking part, but he hasn't actually left Moel's side. He has stuck with her. Like if he really was annoyed by her, he would just leave.
Oh, I don't think he's annoyed by her at all.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
I just don't know
but
if
so
we
maybe
necessarily want to, set her to pester him about a family gym. I feel like that might be something we let him talk to her about when he wants to, or us.
I don't think he'll ever talk to us, but he might talk to her.
If you think Moel can be subtle, I would say feel free.
Maybe.
But I need you to look me in the eye and tell me you think Moel can be subtle.
I could text her and ask if she could be subtle.
Just text her to ask, do you have a dad or like an older brother in Kanto? Yeah. What is your family life like?
Give me a slice of that pie. I'm just curious.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I could text her. I could be like, "Hey, I might have discovered something, but you need to promise me not to like say anything or make him uncomfortable. Otherwise, I'll be mad at you."
I mean, I don't. I think that if you text her with that, she's going to lie to you just because curiosity will get the better of her.
Sure, but then she did promise, and like, if he suddenly is like super mad about it, and then I'll know that she lied, and
Yeah,
that's trust broken.
Yeah, but now you've hurt Toa, you've hurt Moel, and satisfied a little bit of curiosity. I don't know. I agree with Kid. I think it'd be better just to let Toa come out of his shell whenever he's ready. You know?
What if I, just to make her super curious and upset with me, just tell her that I know something, and that's it, and I don't answer her?
He kind of like looks over at Kid. I think that's probably the best compromise we can get.
I'll wait until they're done dying first.
Yeah, I'm not gonna tell you not to do anything because we're out here on an adventure trying to do dumb shit on the daily. So we're very much the yes and squad, but maybe yes and later.
Okay. Yes and later.
Yes and later.
V, around this time, you get a very long message from Marcy, which I will send to you personally so that you can read it out loud if you'd like. Oops.
Oh boy. Is it Marcy or Moel?
Oh, sorry, not Marcy. Moel. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh no.
No, not Marcy. I'm sorry.
The ripples are far
Right,
reaching
I was
indeed.
like, Acacia told on us or something?
No. Sorry, Marcy. Not
Yeah.
Marcy. Moel. God damn it. Why do I have characters that all have M names? What happened? Why am I doing this?
Milo, Marcy,
Moel.
There's that one that's named Mid. There's me.
And
As V gets that text and he kind of is engrossed in the phone, Kid just kind of holds Dwebble up in front of his face, looking him dead in the eyes. Now that we know the next was the grass trainer, he's like, "You're up. It's you. It's always been you."
Hell yeah.
oh man, they get even cooler shit on the cruise now. That sucks. But Moel texted back, and I guess there was an explosion in the cargo bay, and I'm very proud of them. They snuck down there because they were told not to, and they did it just like we would have. And the Pokemon that were missing were like stored down there out of their Pokeballs, and were causing some kind of like shit. And Blur is, as he is, and knows people, I guess, like his cop mom. And they did reconnaissance and stuff, and everybody got the Pokemon back. And I don't know why. Oh, hold on. Yes, well, I know my dad is there. Well, I don't know. She said like we're heroes, which doesn't make a lot of sense, but I don't know what that means at all.
Do you mean like
they were the
we're
ones
heroes, as in us or them? They do
she
something
said,
cool?
Yeah, I don't know. Like she said, so like you guys are heroes, maybe.
Oh,
in those words.
I don't want to be a hero.
Right.
We got Sylph after us. If we become heroes, they're gonna be like, "Oh, those are the guys. Fuck them."
Yeah, I mean, that dude from Sylph kept saying that too. Like everybody keeps saying that they're like, you guys are just trying to play hero, and we're not playing hero. We're just being good people, just trying to fix shit.
Kind of. Either way, it sounds like the right people were, at least having them there was good.
Yeah.
I was worried that those
they're going on the cruise, and they get free amenities for the rest of the ride. And I'm done.
Hell yeah. Tell them to get more of those crab legs.
That's actually really cool, though. Like, I'm glad that they were there and they were able to help.
Yeah, that means the ones that get stolen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
yeah, I guess. Here, I'll just like.
Read
Man,
it
every time we run in Type 19, it is always a like gray area where it is impossible to tell if they are bad guys or not.
Well, I think
Great.
that they're the kind of bad guys who are doing things because they think it's like for the right reasons and
Are they like
just
eco
fucking things
terrorists?
up
Is
more.
that what's happening? They're trying
Probably.
to.
Yeah.
They're doing the extreme for like good reasons, but because extremes is not a good thing.
Mm-mm.
I mean, is that a lesson we should be taking to heart, guys, or
What?
to maybe not do the extreme? No, I'm just.
Well, I mean, I don't know about you guys. I don't plan on bombing anything
No.
or like,
Yeah.
Stealing people's
Not
Pokemon
really.
and throwing the
yeah.
Pokeballs away. I mean, like I
Not
know
really down for that.
I'll
we've set a
slug
few
someone
free,
Hey.
any day, but like
Hold on. Yes,
self
please
defense,
punch people.
you know.
Yeah. But hold on. Okay. Actually, what you just said, Milo. So, do you think that's what they're doing? They're freeing Pokemon and like throwing the Pokeballs away? Maybe because Magnus was real upset about us for that reason, like for freeing the railway Pokemon.
I mean, if they
And
can
like
if they can track everything with the Pokeballs, I'm pretty sure they would be pissed off if suddenly Pokemon are disappearing from the registry.
no, but I
They can't
mean
really
like
keep track of people.
but you mean I mean like that's what like Type 9 we are like accidentally doing what Type 19 was doing, and that's why Silphco's so like mad. And
Oh yeah.
that's why he thought that we were part of Type 19.
I mean that would track. It's just, I mean, what they're doing is a lot different because those Pokemon on the ship, like the Pokeball is what ties it to the trainer. It's what gives them the ability to be transported around and travel with their trainers
Yeah.
safely. And when they're separated like that, destroying a Pokeball or removing it, that could have
Can
ramifications between the trainer and the Pokemon, or they could then be stolen or lost. So
Yeah, like they're doing it in a
can you
bad
text
way.
Moelle and see if she can low key find out specific like whose Pokemon were released?
If there's some
Maybe
sort of like correlation.
maybe they were going after Silphco people or people with like high ties to Silphco.
well, we
Because it was
know,
only a certain number of them that got took.
yeah,
Yeah.
and we know it was taken out of the Pokemon check-in for
Yeah.
dinner.
Mhm.
See
I
if
can
we
ask.
target it or just random. That's it. It's actually a good thing that we look into.
I mean, there might not be anything there, because we still we're giving them a lot of credit. They could still just be bad guys up to no good.
Yeah. No, they are bad guys, and they're doing things. The thing is they're doing it in like a shitty way. I was just saying, like, maybe that's why Sylph is so like upset with us. 'Cause,
on our shit.
yeah, like who the fuck cares that a bunch of kids were talking shit about them? But if they think that we're part of like an organization like to fuck them up, like
Maybe we need to get headphones.
I think that would not help our cause.
Could ask Moelle where she got hers and have custom ones made. Eee. just have Moelle enlist Blur. That's why it's a
no. I was
team.
like, oh, that's actually an interesting idea. Maybe. Oh, girl.
No.
Yeah, do not feel bad because Kim was the one that suggested it, and I don't think his is any better.
Okay, so I don't know if I want to spend the time to like type it all out, but V will send Moelle a message about like all the stuff that we just talked about, like having them like maybe look into if or like Blur specifically, having him look into like were they Pokemon
Not you, Moelle, please.
from right, were they Pokemon from like higher like important people that were stolen specifically? Was it at random?
Mhm.
But stay under the radar. Don't draw
Yeah,
any
be
attention to yourselves.
careful.
Just enjoy the trip, or make it look like all you're doing is enjoying the trip.
Right. Enjoy, even though I'm super jelly. You better bring me back some like cool souvenirs or something. I guess
You're
also
gonna
he'll get.
He's gonna bring you a shirt back with your dad's signature on it.
Oh god, I hope not. But he'll also be like, yeah, I know my dad's there. I guess if you wanted to ask him like something, you can, but he's kind of a dick. And then I will also putting kind of some stuff together. I'm going to text Gary as well.
Ooh, okay.
And tell him like kind of learning like what Type 19 has been doing. They've been like stealing Pokemon and like that's what and like breaking the Pokeballs, and that's what Sylph like was like trying to pin on us.
Okay.
And like yeah, like telling him about like what we learned and why it seems like maybe Sylph is so mad at us, so that he could maybe like help with that.
Gotcha. Okay. That is.
And that we're definitely not part of Type 19.
Okay. I will take that into account. That is actually a very good idea. Okay. Cool. Aw, you're talking to Dad.
That was like growth. That was some serious like. I like that. I'm trying not to be a dick.
From both
And he replied,
sides. Yeah.
Try not to be a dick.
Not to be a dick.
Oh, does what's the range on the walkie-talkie? Maybe you can ask the technicians if they can do a little digging for us.
It's too far. I'm gonna say it's too far.
Aww.
1 mile, so yes. All right. Well,
he definitely will try though to like hail somebody on
No.
the walkie-talkie.
SOS, we're trying to come out.
Okay.
What was your plan, D? We got kind of wrapped up in our own stuff.
Oh no, I'm just enjoying it. Well, my current plan was to go to bed, but after that, and she reaches over and she unfurls a map. Then she kind of looks at it and goes, I was just going to take you on a little tour of the Seafoam Islands. Here, and she hands down a map to one of you, whoever wants to look at it. Because I do have a map.
spread it between the 3 of us.
Indeed. Who did I give the map to? Shit, did I put it in one of your fucking... Oh, there we go. Hold on.
All 3 of us are just crowding around looking like, ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, cool.
That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Where are we like coming in, and where are we gonna go first?
Well, we're approximately here. In fact, it might be easier. Give me 1 second. Actually, I'm gonna put you on the map because I think I also have a map.
Big map.
That would show you where you guys are. Map.
We had heard of Mint Lagoon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I think she mentioned it last game, actually.
Yeah, I think we were heading to the Mint Lagoons first because they were right there.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, do you know if there's a Pokemon Center on the islands? Like, how developed are they? Because I do know Pokemon, and I kind of got paper back. Unfortunately,
have also keep getting yelled at.
Well, yeah. So
and was pulled by the police.
She kind of scratches her head and goes, "There's these red dots actually indicate the parts with the Pokemon centers on them. They're not super huge, but they're functional. Mint Lagoons has a Pokemon Center, and so does Sea Glass Point, which is where I was also kind of planning to take you. The rest of these dots, they are settlements, and there's usually a couple of houses there, but a little bit harder to get to, and there's no Pokemon Center. I've been kind of to most of them, not all of them, but you definitely want to hit up Mint Lagoons and Sea Glass Point at the very least.
That sounds awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the Sea Glass Point. Sounds amazing, just as a name.
It does. See, we might not get the relaxing, fancy cruise with all of the amenities and the slippers and the robes and the hot showers, but we get this, an adventure in the islands where we can eat and sleep under the stars and you know,
Are
it'll be great. It'll be so much fun.
you sure?
I mean, I'm going to enjoy it.
Great.
Oh, God damn it,
I don't answer her. That was it.
After like 5 minutes, your phone starts buzzing incessantly. Like, how dare you? You can't just
Yep.
leave me on
monster.
that.
Yep. That was. Yep.
All right. Well, I'd be down to try to get my sleep schedule back on track and try to, you know, after Marcy's gym,
Yeah.
staying up all night, it'd be good to get back to regular
Yeah.
hours. What time do you think we'll be at Mint Lagoons tomorrow, Dee?
Well, let's see. If I just keep on going here, she kind of checks her watch and goes, we'll probably be pulling in sometime early in the morning, around 7-ish. Could take our time and do 8 if you'd like.
Yes, please.
Yeah, let's take our time, and that way you can get a little bit more rest too. And, you know, we'll go catch some Z's for right now and be ready to go in the morning. Or hopefully once we get there in the morning, ready to go. Yeah.
Sounds good. All right, all y'all, get some sleep. And she kind of looks out into the distance and very, like, Captain E puts her hand on her brow and just kind of peers out and goes, well, just circumvent whatever's going on over there. I don't really want to get flagged down by the police.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's best if we just stay away
Again.
from everything having to do with the cruise ship at the moment.
Yeah.
All right. In which case, you all go to sleep. Feel free to get your long rest. Hit that long
V-
rest button.
Won't go to sleep yet.
Okay,
I have hit dice I need to roll.
for sure.
But as everybody goes to sleep, V is going to kind of like take all of his stuff and like post up on the bow of the ship like he usually does.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like gonna kind of take everything out and reorganize a little bit because his bag is trashed because he shoved a bunch of shit in there.
Mm-hmm.
So he wants to like reorganize and then go through and see what all this shit is that he took from Milo's bag.
Yeah, Milo hasn't looked through his bag yet. He kind of got distracted by everything after taking it back from you, and he will return to the cabin.
None the wiser.
Yeah, none the
Yep.
wiser. Give Rocky a good scruff on the top of his head, and if he seems to be content, just leave him out of his Pokeball. Otherwise, if he wants, he can be returned, and then he'll just go to sleep.
Okay. V, where are you doing this? Because do you guys all share a room? I don't remember if that was.
Yeah,
V-
we had like one
we
cabin
do,
that was.
but
in
V
the-
usually doesn't
yeah.
sleep in it anyways.
Oh,
Like
that's
he usually sleeps out on the deck.
Okay.
Just has been late.
So
on
he's
it.
just kind of, he's kind of just out on the deck and like moving shit around and reorganizing, and then like he wants to look at the stuff.
Yeah, the first thing you see is a t-shirt, and as you unwrap it, the first words hit you very hard. It says, Gary Oak's #1 fan. It is a little bit soaked and a little bit sooty by because I believe Milo has dropped it during the volcano thing, and some soot might have gotten into it.
I think so, yeah.
It has been through the ringer. It doesn't look worn, which makes you feel a little bit better.
Maybe.
But what you do find is letters. They are all kind of scrunched up in there, and all of them are addressed, except for one, all of them are addressed to your dad. And you know that because the first one you see is Most Esteemed Oak Jr., and you're like, ah. They look relatively...
Probably not me.
Yeah, they look relatively old, and I'm gonna actually let you see them and put them in your bag, so give me 1 second.
Hell yeah. Yeah, he's gonna go through and start reading.
Okay.
Figure this shit out. Yeah, well, it's probably gonna be a late night for V because he's
Okay.
once your sleep schedule's fucked, it's fucked. unless you
Yeah.
actually put work into unfucking it, and he does not.
Okay. Fair enough.
So.
In which case, it'll probably be something like you're either going to stay up late and take a point of exhaustion for not getting a full rest, or you can just keep on sleeping and your friends can leave you on the boat for a little longer while they explore the island. It'll be up to you guys.
Yeah, we'll just let V sleep in, probably.
Most esteemed Oak Jr. Extremely pleased to hear that you would accept my generous proposal. Since it's funny, I shall take you up on this outdated form of communication. Henceforth, presume I am penning this missive by the light of a Litwick in the highest tower. I think your proposed research endeavor on the ancient Pokemon training methods is a fantastic idea. It doesn't matter that it won't be pushing the envelope in terms of new research. Your grandfather certainly didn't release groundbreaking articles every year, so I doubt everyone will expect you to. Don't get me wrong, they'll obviously expect great things, but you can simply focus on doing that which interests you most. Yes, it's historical and stuffy and research heavy, but who cares? If it's what makes you happy, you should pursue it. I'll communicate your plans to the concerned parties and get the preparations started. Old Oak won't be retiring for a while yet. Every time someone asks, I hear he starts off on this long lecture about remembering the past. But, given his recent forgetfulness, I think it makes sense for you to move in with him. Let me know once you've bought your tickets back and I can arrange to pick you up.
Signed O. Dated 15 years and 1 month ago. Reply by Gary Oak. Date unknown. Seems to be a rough draft with crossed out parts. Glad you decided to finally listen to reason. Told you electronics can't be trusted. What sort of stuffy old professor would I be if I allowed machinery to take over my pathways of communication? The very things which I rely on to do my carbon dating and most of my other research? What is this strange irony? Bought the tickets for June. Should be able to wrap things up here and head back to Kanto soon enough. I'll need to finish up my networking, but how are things there? I was asked if I had a trainer's license when I bought a ticket. Evidently, they're implementing a system for that now, which is reasonable and not in equal measure good, I suppose. The last letter from Gramps was a bit concerning. He's gotten a bit too far into his old fantasy books nowadays. Last time we talked, he started off on this whole thing about time travel and how he was planning to write his newest book about it. I fear his mind is going faster than we anticipated. Maybe ask Delia to keep a closer eye, if she has the time. I know it's ironic of me to be asking for favors, but... The rest of the letter is barely legible, scribbled out fragments.
Gary, I hope you've settled in. I'm writing the old-fashioned way again, as per my last email. Sorry to hear about your grandfather. I do think it's for the best to just keep him in a comfortable place for now. He will hopefully be comfortable even if he isn't super happy about it. Won't comment on the rest, it's not my place to say. Can't deny you had a tough childhood, but it doesn't sound like it was his fault. I think... I don't know. Your notes for the annual conference were good. I don't have much to say since, as you may have noticed, I'm not exactly the best researcher out there, but you've already proven yourself in your field, and I cannot imagine that they'll deny you the funding. As for your requests, I'll try to pull some strings and put you in touch with the team currently working on the new version of the styler. They may even have old models you can look at.
Signed O. Dated 11 years and 7 months ago.
Gary, I've heard about the situation. I'm not sure I agree, but I can somewhat understand your decision. It can't be easy, especially with how many eyes you've had on your research, and while I understand that you don't want to compromise the safety of either you or Violet, I cannot imagine it's a happy choice. I'm glad to know that the Indigo League is at least offering you an alternative. I know it might not be one you like, but if you think it's safer for you both, it's better than just leaving completely. At least you'll still have some agency, and maybe you can continue to work on your research on the side. In light of the situation, I think this best be our last communication. Next week, I'm leaving for Johto to work with some friends who offered to help, to hook me up with a method that might help us fight back against Sylph's newest release notes. I know the Indigo League will protect you from anything on your side, but I have little to protect me, so me and my associates will have to take some back roads. Even if I won't write anymore, please know I won't be forgetting how much you've done for me. Hopefully sometime soon, like in the next few years when this all blows over, we can meet up again, have a drink, maybe laugh about it. Always your friend.
Signed O. Dated 9 years and 1 month ago.